Auric Orbiter back at it again. In this episode, I'm doing a flat, kind of Berber type textured carpet. I'm using the XL Pro Auric Orbiter, Green Dragon pre-spray, and an Iron Man bonnet. And they're not in that bad a shape. You won't see many spots or stains. Dun dun dun. Why? Because the customer decided to pre-treat everything before I arrived. You'll see what I mean in just a minute. I noticed an area when I first walked in that looked really kind of wet. I reached down and touched it, and sure enough, it was. And the customer said, that they were embarrassed of all the spots and stuff, so they pre-treated it themselves, and that they've always done that in the past with carpet cleaners. This is not a regular tenant of mine. Well, I explained to her that, if she pre-treated it, I can't guarantee that she won't have any wick back, because depending on what she used, there could be a lot of residue down below the surface of the carpet that I'm unaware of, and that I would call her in and show her as I went along. And you'll see here, once I get out of the closet, you'll also see multiple times throughout the video. You can see it's right there where I was stepping, right where the cord is. The foam just foamed right up. It's even on the cord. So what was put down here was your over-the-counter Resolve. I think it was a carpet and upholstery cleaner. And she diluted it, I think 50-50 she said, and sprayed it down. But look at this. And people who do carpets, you guys and gals know that you would prefer not to have anything done to the carpet before you get there. I think she was a victim of a bait and switch company, is what she was kind of telling me, that when they showed up, the price went up for every stain on the carpet. If it was urine, they went up again in price, and she had a triple or quadruple price from the original price. And I told her, I said, yeah, I don't do that. I come out with the intention of pre-spraying myself to avoid this. And she did note that the last time she did this, it was steam cleaned, and the next day all the spots came back. So what did she do? She sprayed them again, and then they came back, and just a mess. Look at all that foam. If I was using a steam cleaner, I'm applying a gentle amount of pressure. I'm not damaging the machine. But if I was steam cleaning this, I would have to use a defoamer to defoam all this. In fact, I have some defoamer. It's a ChemSpec product, crystal powderized defoamer that you can actually sprinkle down if you're going to steam clean it. But what I'm going to do when I'm done here, or maybe as I go along after the rooms, I'm going to get some acetic acid and just put it in a bottle, 32-ounce bottle, and post spray without diluting it. I know, and it's white distilled vinegar from Walmart. I use it a lot. It's $2.38 a gallon. And I let the customer know. Most customers, in this day and age, they think that using vinegar is a green alternative to cleaning. So I explained to her that I'm using the Green Dragon, which is a safe product, and then I'm going to post spray with the acetic acid I think it's 5% white distilled vinegar straight. So it may smell for, an hour or less, and it will dissipate. In this case, the customer says she uses vinegar around the kitchen and other areas of the household, the bathroom. So no problem. She's glad that I'm actually using that. And I explained to her that if she ever uses any pre-spotting solutions like this Resolve, she should really blot it and blot it and blot it, and then just spray it with white distilled vinegar, mist it, let it sit, and that'll neutralize all these bubbles. And it just kept foaming up as I went along. What do you do when you see that somebody pre-spotted prior to you getting there? And we don't think about that, because normally we think, someone's calling us, they're calling us to clean their carpets, so they're probably going to have some spots or something going on or dirty. Not many people, unless they're, really, really wealthy people and they just want to maintain the carpets, maybe they'll call you out every 3 to 6 months, and just have it a once over just to get the dust and neutralize any allergens in the carpet and whatnot. So that does happen, but those people are probably not really concerned about their wallet, and they also probably have really nice carpets, so it's easy to clean. But here it just, my goodness, I'm going over it a couple more times just to see if I can spread that out a little bit so I can really neutralize it. And I did tell the customer that after a couple days, maybe 48 hours, shoot me some pictures, text message, so I can take a look at what's going on. And worst case scenario, if we do have some heavy wick bag on those spots, I told her I would have to come through with the high-powered portable steam cleaner, get all set up, and put down the crystal defoamer, and then probably put hot water in the tank along with maybe a gallon of white distilled vinegar, and do a thorough rinse to get all this soap that she put on there out. But I don't think we're going to have to do that. You'll see towards the end of the video. Everything looked good. I walked back and forth and found the spots that I thought were, in need of extra neutralizing, and I really kind of gave them a good dousing or a good mist of the acetic acid. And I think I discussed the pH scale. I'm not a scientist, and my way's not the right way all the time. I just do it my way. If you like my way, feel free to copy it. If not, do your way. But the pH scale, it's acid on one side, the left side of the scale, and it's alkaline on the right side of the scale. And your acids are like acetic acid, vinegar, and then it can go, lemon juice and different acids. And then as you go up the scale, you get into more soapy stuff, which is alkaline. Unless you're using clear ammonia, that's a 14 on the pH scale, 14 on the alkaline side. That's why a lot of people will use it as a booster. But it's inert, so it will just dissipate and it won't leave any residue because there's no soap. It didn't start with any soap. But the scale goes from 1 on the acid side all the way up to 14, the highest, which is the alkaline side. And so the way to avoid any problems is to neutralize, or to be neutral. And what they mean by neutral is in the middle of the scale, which is 7 pH. So if you use, like she did, Resolve, and you get all these soapy spots, you're probably way up around 11 or 12 on the pH scale. If you leave it that way, the spots will come back and turn dark brown. They brown out. And what you want to do is bring that high alkaline pH down from 12 or wherever it's at to 7, right in the middle on the scale. So if you're at a 12 and you add, acetic acid, white distilled vinegar, which is probably a 2 or 3 on the acid side, it will bring the alkaline down and get it more balanced into around the 7 range. And if you leave it at that range, you won't have any browning or any wick backer problems. So, and here, this house, she had carpet in the bathroom, which a few homes I've done have that. It's just, not a good idea in my opinion. What do you guys think? Carpet the bathroom? Maybe a throwdown carpet you could take out and hose off. So I'm going to do the acetic acid post spray here and get this place looking fantastic. It's a kind of a light tan off-white carpet. But once again, the Auric Orbiter comes through and is doing a fantastic job. Gets in and out those little valleys and cubby holes in the desks and makes it quite easy. And I've been trying out the microfiber bonnets, not with the scrub strips, just the plain ones. And somebody mentioned if you go back over with a cotton bonnet, you'll be surprised how much dirt is still there. And I know there's always going to be a little dirt. Nobody can get 100% of everything out of the carpet. But I did do a little test at the job before this. And sure enough, it looked pretty clean with the microfiber. I think if you use the microfiber scrub strips, you're probably okay. But just the regular microfiber, it's more spongy, like I said. And so it is holding water, but it's actually leaving a bit of moisture behind. When I threw a dry Ironman pad on and then went back over, about 100 square foot area, I absorbed a lot of soil. I flipped the pad back over, went over it again, and it was just lightly soiled. So a lot better clean visually, and just looking at it for aesthetics after using the Ironman, it looked outstanding, beautiful. So can't remember who mentioned that. Somebody contributed in the comments, and yes, you were right. So there you go. I'm glad they headed that off, because I had found that box of microfiber pads and I was enjoying using them. I think I enjoyed using them more because there's no resistance. The Auric Orbiter just spins real freely. You don't have as much aggression, kind of like the original Auric pads that have that polyester in them, or terry cloth, whatever it is. They're not grabbing and picking up as much soil, but they are spinning, and they spin a lot faster. Sometimes that's good, I guess, if you use it on wool carpet or delicate carpet. It will spin a little quicker without much aggression. You won't do any damage. So my work here is just about done. Let me know what you guys think, or tell me some stories if you guys have run into a house where they pre-treated the carpet before you arrived. All right. Thank you for watching this episode. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing. It really helps my channel.